Welcome back. Now, Advocate Duma Boko, the newly elected president of Botswana, is set to be inaugurated today at the country's national stadium. Now, officially sworn in as the sixth president of Botswana last week, Boko stated the urgency of assuming his office during an initial speech, saying that any delay would leave Botswana without a leader. Now, joining us with more on this about this inauguration this morning is freelance journalist and social commentator Kabo Ramasia from Botswana. Good morning and welcome to GMN.
Good morning, and let me take this time to greet your viewer.
Now, we understand that the new president, the newly elected president of Botswana, is expected to be inaugurated in today at the national stadium of your country. Talk to us about what the people of Botswana are expecting in terms of this inauguration. What is the current mood? What is the feeling? Is there excitement? Does it bring new opportunities? What is the current mood right now in Botswana?
All right, thank you for this question and having me on this day. I think, as you rightfully put it today, we are expecting that the newly elected president of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko, will be inaugurated. This is just part of a ceremonial event, because you remember that during the course of last week, I think it was last week, Friday, if I'm not mistaken, he was sworn in as the new president. So basically, I think he started then. So what we are expecting right now is that the people of Botswana are supposed to be making their way to the national stadium, whereby the gates open this morning at 6, and it is anticipated that the inauguration will be happening until, I think, in the afternoon, whereby now people will be discussing on. But the mood is very high. People are looking forward to this new presidency by Duma Boko and the Umbrella for Democratic Change, or the UDC. And, the air is very with hope that finally the winds of change have blown, and, once they blew, everybody is expectant to the fact that, maybe somehow, change will come there with.
Ramasia, are you there? Are you able to hear?
Yes, I'm here.
Getting some feedback and some delays in when you're speaking. You're talking about the current mood of what is expected, and you talked about the fact that the gates to the stadium they are opening at exactly 6 o'clock this morning. Perhaps maybe let's touch on how many leaders so far have extended a message of congratulations to that President Duma Boko, and what were their sentiments in terms of those congratulatory messages that they shared with the president and the people of Botswana?
I think I've seen one from the President of South Africa, and I've seen one from the Zimbabwe, and there have been a number of other organizations and leaders as well who have really congratulated the president. And I think I've also seen that the leader of the EFF in South Africa, Julius Malema, would also be in attendance today. You would recall that the likes of Julius Malema were placed on visa restrictions by the Ian Khama regime, former president. Then when the immediate past president, Democracy came in, I think he didn't remove those sanctions that were imposed upon them. So the reason why they're coming is because I think the now president has removed the sanctions from them. I think a number of people which I can't recall one by one, even the outgoing president, President Masisi, they, wished the current president well. And maybe also to mention that we're expecting that, the former president, Ian Khama, has been invited to the inauguration, as well as former President Masisi, and we'll see how it goes. Because if you recall, in the last 5 years or so, all has not been well between the two presidents, whether there was a fallout and all that. Then President Duma, went on exile. So would be, looking forward to the reconciliation as to whether the new presidency will reconcile these two former leaders.
Now, in his address or speech that he made last week since being sworn in, the president has pledged to prioritize, that is, economic diversification, noting that Botswana's economy continues to rely heavily and being dependent on diamond sales. Let's talk about the role of this role or statement will play in trying to diversify the revenue of this country and possibly leading to a more stable economic policy.
Okay, thank you for this. Let's try to contextualize it. You recall that upon gaining independence in 1966, Botswana was regarded as amongst one of the poorest countries in the world, and also in the desert. So upon the discovery of diamonds around the 1970s, our economy started booming. We started developing infrastructure, building roads, schools, and so forth and so on. So from the 70s up until right now, diamonds or minerals, diamonds particularly, have been the main oversee of our economy, or they've been the main driver in terms of, what the country earns. But that has been, dependent on external shocks, like, your trade wars. If, for instance, in the past, the trade war between the U.S. and China has somewhat affected us, and also there was the Russia and Ukraine, and also there was COVID-19, which also affected us, which means that for the last few years, our country has not been able to generate more money because of diamond sales. So what we have done, those who are in power, they depleted the coffers, our savings, our government investment accounts. That is why right now Botswana is really, economically, I think we are not doing well. So the new president has got a very, very huge task ahead of him in terms of trying to stabilize the country's finances, because Botswana in the past was known for its prudent management of its fiscal or its financial, its finances. But over the years, that has been on a decline. So we expect him to really restore that. We expect him to find means or avenues of diversifying the economy. The effect that it works for all the people, and it accommodates all the sectors, such that the GDP can grow at a steady rate. There are many, industries that you can look at, like your manufacturing, your sports sector, your agriculture, your entertainment, and so forth and so on, which can be leveraged so that the economy of Botswana can boom again. So it is incumbent upon the president or the new president to really look into these things, because you would remember that weighing all these challenges against that party manifesto, I don't think it's going to be easy, because they've, promised to come and revitalize the economy, to increase old age pension funds, to increase student allowances, and to increase minimum wages. So I think it's going to be a tall order for them to really navigate this difficult economy.
As we wrap up our conversation this morning, we know that his coalition unseated, that's the BDP, who has been running Botswana since 1966 for approximately almost 6 decades and 58 years to be precise. What is the feeling right now from those that are coming from the BDP? Are they okay with the sentiment of seeing that they will no longer be in power for the next foreseeable future?
I mean, what choice do they have, man? They really have to make it, because, people got to a point whereby they had to do away with them, because I think they got complacent, and, they were no longer doing what they were elected to do. And also, I think it's a good sign that Botswana is still, a good democracy, because a party that has ruled for 58 years has lost elections. But instead of protesting that they lost elections, they have peacefully handed power to the opposition, to the party that is used to oppose it. So I think, it's a good case study of what good democracies are. Botswana was in the past, there's a beacon of good governance and democracies. We still remain, and I think if at all we regarded this peaceful transition of peaceful handover of government would really escalate us to higher, to higher ranks regarding the democracy.
Finally, as we expect the inauguration to take place at the country's national stadium, you say the gates are expected to open as early as 6 o'clock. We know that the Namibian head of state is also expected to attend the inauguration. Where can the rest of the world follow these proceedings?
There are a number of media houses that will be beaming the things of, and we have got the Botswana Edition. We've got its Facebook page. There's the BW government page, which is an official page of the Botswana government. It's also the Duma Boko Facebook page would also, the President Duma Boko Facebook page would also be online. And also, there are a number of media houses that would expect that also they should be beaming the proceedings live. The likes of your Miri, Standard, the Agas Online, the Parrot News, the Patriot on Sunday. There are a number of them. So I think people just need to search them. Maybe international media, because accreditation was also done to the international media.
Yeah, thank you very much for making time to speak to us this morning, and may the inauguration of Advocate Duma Boko as the newly inaugurated president, the sixth president of Botswana, be a resounding success, and we'll be following from those different media platforms.
All right, no, thank you, sir.
Now, that was freelance journalist from Botswana, Kabo Ramasia, talking to us about the inauguration of the newly elected president, that is Advocate Duma Boko, who is expected to be inaugurated later in today at the country's national stadium in Gaborone. The president of Namibia is also expected to be in attendance. Now, stay tuned. When we get to return, we get to bring you